morning, children. Welcome back to computer class. On last Friday, we started discussing with this chapter, that is chapter number 2, classes as the basis of all computations. Today, I'll be covering concepts again with different examples. So, the topic number 1 is Introduction to Object. As you all know, that object is anything which has some characteristics and behavior. That particular thing is known as object. Either it is a non-living thing or it is a living thing. It is known as object. So, how can we create an object in our class? Let's suppose we'll see this example first. It is public class ABC. This is known as ABC. This is the name of class. I told you the first letter of the name should be capital. This is the class keyword. This is the public access specifier. If this is the class name, how will you create the object? You will write the name class ABC, then obj. Obj here is an object name. You can define any object name here. Is equal to. Equal to here is an assignment operator. And on the right side, that is written new with the small letters. New is an operator which gives memory to the object. And this ABC part is known as constructor, that you have done it in last chapter. So this is the line how you can create the object. It will come as 2-mark question. Sometimes if this line is given, that what does this line means? So you will write that this is an object creation line where ABC is the class name, OBJ is the object name, equal to here is an assignment operator, and new here is allocating this memory to OBJ, and this is the class constructor. Whenever the object is created, the constructor is called automatically. As this is having no parameters, that is why it is known as default constructor. So next topic is concept of class, and it covers abstraction and encapsulation features of Java. What is abstraction? Abstraction is a process in which we define only essential features. We show only essential features to user, and we hide the technical details of the object. That means suppose you are using an AC. So your AC is having a remote with you. That remote is an interface. That remote is having the essential features for you. You need not to know about the technicality of the AC. You need not to know about the technical background, what is the coding part, how the chip is designed. So this is abstraction, showing only essential features and hiding the background details. Another is encapsulation. Encapsulation means a class is encapsulating the variables, that is data of the object, and the method. That means it encapsulates the behavior of the object. Now in this example, you can see this class is ABC. It is having 3 variables. The arrow is showing you that this is known as declaration of variables. This line is declaring the variables, that all 3 variables which I am using in my program is of type int, that is integer type. So these variables will be used to store the values. Now inside the main add method is there to write the calculation part of this program. That is, I want to add these two numbers A and B, and addition result I am taking in C variable. So with the help of display statement, that is system.out.println, I am displaying the result on the screen with the help of C variable. So add here is method, ABC is the variables. So in this way we are doing the encapsulation in this class, that a class is carrying data variables and the methods of the object. That is why we are telling you people that read the book thoroughly, because each and every example is given in your book. Please go through the book. At this chapter is at page number 51. So first topic was introduction to object. Next topic was abstraction and encapsulation. And the third topic is class. Again working with class only. How to define a class. What is a class? A class is known as blueprint of the object. What does this mean? It means that a class contains all the necessary data to create an object for a specific purpose. That means if you are the object, you are giving the 2 values you want to add. So everything is there in the class. You just need to put 2 values and press the operation and it will give you the result. Suppose you are using a calculator and you are providing the computer 5 and 6. So 5 and 6 are the data that will go into A and B, and if you are clicking the plus sign, that means you are clicking the function that you want to call. So A and B will be added and the result will be taken in C variable. So the C variable will be displayed and the output will be displayed to the user. So we can have these methods and variables inside the class. This is very useful and handy feature because we are having classes for all the programs in Java. So we are having inbuilt classes also. We'll be designing our classes also. You have done in ninth standard also that how we can create the class. This is how we can create the class. First we have to write the class definition. Then we need to put the curly brackets, that is for class body. Then we need to define the variables, and then we need to write the methods for the logic part. So classes acting as a abstraction for set of objects. For similar kind of objects, we can create the class. We can create one class. Now you will ask me about what will be the importance of classes. See, classes are very important in Java programming because most of the programming in Java revolves around the objects, and classes are the blueprint to create one. So classes are simply data structures that hold information about themselves and the operations that they can perform. That means क्या हमारे ऑब्जेक्ट की वैल्यूज हैं, that will goes into variables. क्या हमारे ऑब्जेक्ट ने करवाना है, that is in the methods. So object is having two things. Object knows something, object does something. What an object knows are known as variables or the characteristics. What an object does, that is behavior. So on the right side you can see the block I have written. Add is the name of method in which we will write the logic or the formula. So in this way, these are classes. We will write the definition of the body, the definition of the class, that is public class ABC, with a pair of curly brackets which represents the class body. Okay. And next we are going to study what are class variables and what are instance variables. See, this program I am giving you for practice. Look at this program. I am telling you the concept of variables here also. This is public class operators. This is known as public static void main. This is a main method from where the execution will start. In this we have taken various variables A, B, C, D, E, F and some. So these are 7 variables I have taken. In A, I have taken 34. In B, 21. So these are the data which I have stored in A and B. After this, I have written expressions. You have done in ninth standard the Java expressions. So these are with the help of operators. It is a quick recap of operators, that is postfix and prefix operators. So let us understand this first expression. It is int c is equals to a plus 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 b. That means a here is having postfix increment operator. That means postfix operator means first we will take the value as it is and then we will increment it by 1. But prefix operator here means first we will increment it and then we will use it. So inside in the C, the answer will be 34 plus 22, not 34 plus 22. Why not 35 plus 22? Because here it is postfix. So this value will be taken as it is, and here it is prefix. So 21 will be incremented to 22. So in this way you can learn the prefix and postfix operator. So these are the variables inside the main method, and in the sum variable we are adding all the variables in which we have calculated the values. And with the help of system.out.println we are printing the sum. In this next program, I'm going to show it practically also. This is a very simple program to accept two values and by making the static method. Look here on the screen carefully. This first line, I'm explaining this program, so listen carefully. This first line, import java.util.scanner. This line is used because we need to put values during the runtime. So this is the value, this is the main line with the help of which we can use scanner in our program. So the first line is import java.util.scanner. Java.util is known as the package name in which a scanner is there, right? Scanner is an inbuilt class. Then we started with public class main. So this is the class definition. This line is known as public class main. Main is the name of method, class is keyword, and public is access specifier. Then class body started with curly bracket. Then we defined a static method. Look carefully. You people are in 10th standard. You know it that methods are of two types, static and non-static. If we will write static here, that means whenever we are calling this method, need not to call with the object as it is a class method. I have written for your convenience, I have written in this comment also that this is the static method with two parameters. Parameter here are known as formal parameters because we are just giving that these type of parameters will be coming when this method is being called. So the line public static int sum. Here sum is the name of method. Int is the return type. I have not written here void because if we will write void here, that means it will not hold a particular value, any specific value. So now I made it int here. That means my method will hold int type of value. Look here, inside the method body, I have used here return because return is the keyword that will go to this method prototype to match whether C is of type int or not. Yes, it is of int type. So the method is correct. So the method will hold int type of value and that will be holded by C variable. As this is static method, I'll be showing you how to call this method. Now look carefully this main method from where the execution will start. Scanner SE is equals to new scanner system.in. This is the line you will need to create scanner class object because if we will not make the scanner class object, we cannot use the scanner class methods. Scanner class methods are used to take the values from the user during the runtime. That means जब हमारा program execution state में है, then we are taking the values from the user. We will not fix the values or we will not give the static initialization. We will take the values from the users with the help of these methods. Look carefully. I have written here system.out.println. Enter first number. This is just a heading line for the user. User will see this heading and with the help of this nextInt method of scanner class, user will enter the value that is first number and that is holded by a variable. Again, I have written the statement for the user, enter second number. So, and the user will enter the next number that will be holded by b variable. Again, I have declared these two variables. Declaration is very important part. Now, I want to show one thing that as I have declared C inside the sum method and AB here in the main methods. So, these are the local variables of the methods. If we will declare the variables here at the main class body level, then that are known as global variables. Okay, so a class is having two kinds of variables, instance or known as global variables and class variables and local variables. So class means fixed variables with the help of static keyword. I'll show you in another example. Look at this here. So int A and int B will be having the values from the user and I have run this with the help of object creation of my class. My class name is main. Look here on the first line. Main is the class name. Object here is obj I have created is equals to new and main is here constructor. I explained you in the last slide that obj means object here. With the help of new operator, it is giving the memory to the operator and it is helping us to call the methods. Now, look here, int C is here for taking the value and is equal to, on the right side, what I have done is I have called the method with object obj.sum and in brackets a and b. A and b will be the two values which user will provide, and it will be taken in C. Result will be taken in C when we will be running it. Okay. And if I want to run it without object, as this is a static method, look carefully. Static method is there, so we do not need object. There are two ways to call static method: with object, in first line I have done, and even without object we can call the static methods, right? If it is a non-static method, suppose I'll not write static here in the method prototype or in the method definition line, so we need to create with the object only. With the help of object creation we will call the methods. This is the third program, which is one of the part that I have given you last Friday as homework. That is 16 number question of constructors chapter unsolved. This is one of the part. Look at this carefully. Again, this is a scanner line. I hope it is clear now. Java.util is a scanner class package name in which it is present, and we are calling this class. Why? Because we want to use this class. Okay. Now, inside the main class, that is my class, curly brackets, main method is there. Then new scanner. This is the object of scanner, and then this is a heading for user, enter a number. So the user will enter a number with the help of next int method, and that number the user is putting, that is holded by this num variable. Now I am making a copy of that num variable in which I have stored the number. Look at this line where I have written the comment for you people, that num is holding that value that user will enter. Now I am going to assign the same number to this variable, that is copy variable. You can write here C also, temp variable also, any name you can give to this variable. This is why I am making this copy of the same original number. I explained you in ninth standard also that whenever we divide this number by 10, whenever we are dividing the number by 10, it will be becoming 0 at end. So if it will become 0, how can we check? How can we compare that if whether the reverse number is same as that of original number or not? Because this is the program to check whether the entered number is a palindrome or not. What do you mean by palindrome? Palindrome means the number is same from left side also, and if we see from right side, it is the same number. So we need to reverse the number. If we want to reverse the number, at last we have to check whether the reverse of a number is equal to the original number that a user entered. So if we want to compare these two values, we need a copy of that number. That is why we are making the copy of that same number. And this rev is a variable used to store the reverse of number. So I have initialized it to 0 because there is nothing in it earlier, but we are going to store it afterwards. Now I have used here while loop. You have covered, you have done in first chapter of 10th class also and last chapters of 9th class also. This is known as iteration loop. Iteration means repetition. So I have given the condition inside the while loop that till the number is greater than 0, we need to do this part. Okay, these three instructions we need to do it again and again till this condition becomes true. Till this condition is true, we need to repeat these steps. What are these steps? First step is to take the digit, to separate the digit. So that is why we are using here modulus operator. Be careful because this question is very important and this is very frequent in board papers. So you have to concentrate on this part because this is modulus sign and this part is known as quotient or division sign. So this is another function. So we are separating the digit by dividing this number by 10 and we are getting the digit, the remainder part as separated digit. Now we are making the reverse of it by multiplying it with the 10 as the place value increases with the left side. So digit will be added up and reverse into 10 will be for the place value. And at last we are taking the quotient. Why? Because we need the update statement for this while loop. I told you people that iterations are having three parts. First, initialization part. Initialization is done here where the user is entering the value. Then testing condition is done here where we are giving while loop. Okay. Then last is updation statement. Updation statement we have given, that is this divided by 10. So we are going to study from book also, and we are going to do it with the help of programming also. So these are the topics of this chapter: introduction to objects, then object encapsulate, that is abstraction we have covered, then encapsulation, that is encapsulation of the data variables and the member methods into the single unit. That single unit is known as class. Okay. Then class, how to define a class, what is a class, you need to learn the definition. Either you can learn it from first chapter, second chapter, this is in all the chapters, class definition. Then class is acting a abstract data type for objects because object is having data and we are writing the data in the form of these two variables. See, everywhere it is written, you need to learn it, you need to underline it, that a class contains data members and methods to perform different operations. That operations are called methods only. Okay, so these are known as int a and int b, known as variables. So we can call these variables as instance variable also. We have covered this topic. Objects are called instances of the class because every time the value can change for the object. So instance means varying with the time. So objects are instances, are the parts of the class. That is why if we will not write static here in prior to this variable declaration, static int a or static int b, that means these are not fixed variables, that can change. So if our variable value can change, that are known as instance variables. If the value is static, that is fixed, we can write the static keyword, that becomes the class variables. You need to read the theory of this part. What I have done is written here only. Okay, class variables are declared only once and with the help of static keyword. This can come as 2-mark question also. Which keyword is used for declaring variables fixed or declaring variables constant value, that is static, or final keyword, right? So then is instance variables. As I told you, that instance can have multiple values, multiple copies, so we can have different values for different variables. This is how it is telling you that how to declare the method. This is public void sum, this is known as method declaration or method prototype. Then this is known as, this part is known as method body, which is enclosed in pair of curly brackets. This is how we can define the class. Public class add, then there are two variables and that two variables will be taken as parameters. These are known as formal parameters. I'm again and again saying because these are the quick recap of ninth also, and you have done in 10th first chapters also. These two are known as here formal parameters. Whenever you are writing parameters in method prototype, this is known as formal parameters, and we are calling the methods and then giving the values, that are known as actual parameters. These questions can come again in your paper. So methods, you need to learn the definition of method. Method is a group of statement which can perform a specific operation. That means for a particular logic we need write a separate body. So this separate body will define a separate logic for every operation, for every method. So this is just, it is telling you that how we can define the method. This line is known as method prototype. I have declared int in the last program. I have told you int is a return type. This is static or non-static, it is our choice. If it is not mandatory, if it is not written in your program that you need to make a static method, you only write the non-static method and you will be showing the calling of the method with the help of object. Okay, so it is your choice whether to make static or non-static, but prefer to make non-static methods and show the method calling in the main method. So these are written: method prototype and method signature. Method prototype means this full line of the method declaration line. This full line is known as method prototype. But this part, which is inside the round bracket, this much part is known as method signature. That means parameters are known as the method signature. So it is giving you the theory part also. Method prototype is known as the method heading line or the first line of the declaration of the method. So it is giving you with the help of example. Read thoroughly the chapters. Why? Because it gives you better understanding. Along with the video in a repetitive manner, you can listen, you can do the programming part, and you can read thoroughly, right? And calling a method by call by this we have covered in live session also, in last Friday. Call by value and call by reference. If we are giving the primitive values, that is one by one value we are giving, that is call by value. If we are giving object, full object we are giving with 2 3 values, we are giving full object, that is call by reference. This I'll show you with the help of programming part. This is access specifiers. I have actually dictated this access specifiers, that we are having 4 different kinds of access specifiers which specifies the access to our class, variable and method. If we are declaring it private, private means our class or our variable is accessible only within that class where they are defined. Okay. If we are declaring it public, like you are posting it in your Facebook post, so if you are posting it to all the public, so that means throughout the world your post can be seen. Anybody can click on your profile and anybody can see that post. But if you are clicking on that friends, that means you are giving access to your friends only. If you will click friends of friends, that means your friends can see and their friends can see. So this is how we are giving the access in our daily life, in our applications. In the same way at backend, in our programs, we are making the classes private, variables and methods private, public and protected. Protected means in the same package, all classes can use this class or method, whatever it is, protected. Okay, so it is accessible to the classes in the same package and to the subclasses even if they are from the other packages. That means in the same package it is allowed. So next is working with objects. I just explained it, this line, that how will you create an object. It's just telling you the syntax. Syntax means how will you write it. Class name. So like I have told you, ABC. Suppose I'll write here and we'll compare it. If I'll write here ABC OBJ is equals to new ABC round brackets and semicolon. So this is what it is telling in the syntax part. This first is class name, then the object name is equals to new, and then the class name and the round bracket. This particular part is known as constructor. See, it is telling you constructor here and new operator, obj and abc. You can compare it with. So next part is, see, it is telling you that it is having, this class is having 2 variables, instance variables, and then the non-static method sum is there, 2 variables, that is formal parameters, which will be going to use in this method body. And we are adding a these 2 variables and the result is taken in some variables. After that it is printing with the help of println, and we are calling here, we are creating here 2 variables, 2 objects of this class, and we are giving the values with the constructors. So it is just telling you examples and we will be doing in the programming. So it is telling you using variables of the object. See, add is the class name, A is an object, is equals to new add. So it is telling you that we can use variables of the object. To use the object variables, you need to declare an object first. Then with the help of object, we can use the variable. Suppose P is there in our program. We can use A dot P. Suppose I have created here obj, so we will write here obj dot p. Next is objects can be called for, that is objects we can use it for calling the methods also. See, it is showing us in this line that a is an object, dot sum is the method, and we are giving the two values, so we are calling the method with the objects as we have done in our programming also. Java has two types of data types, primitive data types and composite data types. We have already covered it at ninth that primitive data types are the older data types, that is from the C++ languages. That is why Java is considered as 99.9% oops, and that is 0.01% rest of the part is the primitive data types. So primitive data types, we have 8 data types, that is integer, int, byte, short, long, boolean, char, float and double. So you need to learn these two values and the storage capacity of all these values and default values, which is given in your first chapter. Read it carefully from there. So int, byte, short and long, these four are for integer numbers, char is for character, float and double is for taking the decimal numbers, and boolean is for true false. So next is composite data types, that we have known that string is there, arrays are there. You just need to learn that there are string, arrays are known as composite data types. So classes in our Java is known as composite data types. So I think this was the last topic of this chapter. So I've covered the whole chapter in this video, and I'm going to show one or two programs. That is the practical part. I'm going to do it. Just a moment. See, look carefully that we are writing here. I hope you can see my screen. This is written import java.util.scanner, and I have made main class here. Then I have made a static method here with the name sum, and then int is the return type here with having two parameters that are known as formal parameter. This is the same method I told you, I explained you in the slide. Now I am going to run it. Look carefully, this is the method body and it is adding the two numbers. Then main method is there, in which I am creating the scanner class object, and with the help of scanner class methods I am entering the two values during the runtime. Then I am running it in the main method with the object creation. So I have written two calling statements, obj.sum ab, that I will enter, and that last sum a comma b, that is with the object and without object we can call the static methods. So I'm going to run it now. Let's see what are the errors and will it be successful. So it is running successfully. Now it is asking me enter the first number. Suppose I am entering 3, and let's suppose I am entering the second number 5. Now I will press enter and it will give us, let us have the result on the screen that as I have written here, and first time 8, and let us see the result one more time by running the same method as it is a static method. So it is giving me, I think I have not printed it again. So that is why it is not, yes, I have not printed the D part. So I'll make changes here. I'll take the system.out.println, I'll copy it and then I'll paste it here. And after that I can run it again and then it will show me the D part also. I've pasted there and I have changed here C to D, and it is, I am writing here, in place of first I am writing here second, so that I can say it again. So I'm going to run it and now I am again entering the different values here. Now you can see the output screen. I'm entering 5 here and I'm entering 7 here, so that I can get 2 times 12 result. Why it is giving me 2 times? Because I have called the same method twice. So I'm going to show it again with another example. Look carefully. I have made here palindrome method. So, with the help of this, I have just explained you on the slide. With the help of scanner class, we will enter the number here. I'll make a copy here and we'll reverse it. Full code is written here. Now I'm going to run it. I'll show you the output window. By clicking on run, you can run this program and it is running again the successful part, that is entering a number. Now suppose I'm entering 4554. That means I want to check whether it is a palindrome or not. It is same from left side and same from right side. Let's see what is the output. Yes, you entered 4554 and it is a palindrome. Suppose I am going to run it again with a different value which is not a palindrome. See, I'm running it. Let's suppose 453, because the reverse of number is 354 and it is not a palindrome. Let's see. So it is running successfully and it is showing me that no, entered number is 453 and it is not a palindrome. So thank you to all of you for listening so patiently, and please go through this video and read the chapters thoroughly, and we'll get back to you on Friday with the homework and the notes. Okay, thank you.